Welcome back to Living with CRPS, the search for relief and remission. I'm Elena Key, and today I'm thrilled to introduce Thea. Thea has been living with CRPS for 3 years and has found ways to manage her symptoms through holistic treatments, physical therapy, and significant lifestyle changes. Her journey towards a manageable life with CRPS is inspiring and informative. So I'm excited to learn more about Thea's story and who she is. Thank you so much, Thea, for taking your time to share your story. First, I want to know a little bit more about yourself. Can you tell me a little bit more where you're from and what you enjoy doing in your free time?
Well, I am from Chicago. I live in Chicago. I'm a mom, a wife. I have 6 children. And prior to being diagnosed with CRPS, um, I live life like any other normal person without pain. You know. And I was a CNA, so I worked a lot with elderly and things like that. Always on the go, constantly. Um, and after I was diagnosed, so I broke my leg in July 2018, and I broke my leg. I had to have an open reduction internal fixation for it, and I did physical therapy, which worked really well. So I thought, and maybe about a year later, I started noticing I started having like some swelling, some issue, and things like that. So fast forward to about 2021. Um, I was hurting a lot more. I was still able to live life, but I was like, oh, I'm hurting a little bit. My leg is swelling up and everything. What's going on? And so I went and saw another orthopedic surgeon.
Mhm.
The first surgeon did my original break. She was a podiatrist. I met with the orthopedic surgeon. He informed me that the first surgery, it did not correct all the injuries that I sustained, which I did not know. I had terrible ligament damage, which was causing a lot of the problems I was having. And he let me know that, we'll correct this and everything will be okay. And I was like, you know what? Okay, as long as I'm, I may not be 100%, but, at least, as close as I can.
Mhm.
And so I had surgery October 2021. I literally woke up screaming out of surgery. I mean,
Wow.
I came out screaming, and I was in so much pain. Oh my God, I was crying. And they told me, oh, it's just a surgery. Um, we'll give you a nerve block in your leg. They gave me a nerve block, and I think it lasted about 3 days in my leg. And as it started to wear off, I knew something was just wrong. I was just like, oh my God, from the first surgery to the second one, it was like, at least with the first surgery, I wasn't hurting as bad. And then my legs started being red all the time. So, they thought maybe I had a blood clot or something, but it wasn't. And then I would be in the house, the wind would be blowing, or, a fan or something, and I would be cringing in pain, screaming just constantly. And they didn't diagnose me with CRPS until I saw a neurologist in December of 2021 because I
How did
had to.
you how did you get introduced into a neurologist?
So, funny story. So, the orthopedic surgeon that performed the surgery, right? He told me, oh, this is all normal. And, this is normal stuff. And I'm thinking, when I had the first surgery, I know numbness, tingling, and things like that. But this time it wasn't that. It was far worse. And so he didn't want to give me a referral. So I went to my primary care doctor. She's amazing. I love her. And she gave me the referral to neurology. And then I got another referral to see an outside orthopedic surgeon because I was not sure if he did what he was supposed to do. And I had a wound on my leg, and it took about 6 months for it to heal. I'm not a diabetic or anything, so I didn't understand. So I went to see the wound specialist and a neurologist. They gave me EMG, two of them. So I had one before I had the second surgery and after. And they had said it was like some nerve damage and things like there in there. And then he was like, I think you might have CRPS, but I'm gonna send you to a pain doctor just so that he can confirm because we see that you have this extensive nerve damage. I was like, okay. And they started me on pain medication, which was I was really groggy. I was really sick taking it. It was terrible. And So when I met with the pain specialist, he confirmed I had CRPS type 2 from nerve damage.
Mm.
So I guess the peripheral nerve in my leg, it's completely. And so they started me on gabapentin, meloxicam. Then they did Lyrica. It was so many different medications, so many pain medications, and it was a lot. And I'm literally like 29 years old, and I'm like, what is going on? I have kids, and I can't function. I was in so much pain from the moment I woke up. My pain was like an 8, a 9. By the
Mm.
time I go to bed, I'm like a 15. I'm yelling at everybody. I couldn't function, and it was some of the worst times of my life. It literally disturbed my life. And I was trying to work. It was so hard to work. I couldn't be a mother, a wife, and I couldn't work. I was choosing my battles, and I was losing all of them. I would be up all night in pain, crying, tossing and turning. And finally, I had went to my pain doctor again, and he told me he saw how bad I was suffering. He was like, I have a physical therapist, and she's an expert in CRPS. And he was like, but before you go to her, we're going to try a sympathetic nerve block in the back.
Mhm.
And I was hesitant at first, and I was like, okay, is it gonna give me some relief? And he was like, yes, it'll give you relief. I got the injection, and I think my sister carried me out of there. My back was hurting so bad.
Mm.
I was hurting, and I did notice a couple of days later the pain it had got a little bit better. It wasn't gone, but it was about 30% better. I had went back to him maybe about a month later, and he said we'll try a ketamine infusion.
Mm.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all try one thing because I'm not gonna keep repeating to get things done. So I did the ketamine infusion. I was in the hospital for 24 hours. Um, I didn't notice anything until maybe about 2 or 3 weeks later when it was like it magically started to work,
Mm.
and I felt some relief. It felt really, really well. And then after maybe about a month or so, the pain came back times 10.
Oh no.
I didn't want to do another infusion because I have kids, and I have to, you know, try to prioritize how I'm going to, care for them. So I took the pain doctor up on the referral for the physical therapist. When I got there with her, she was like, "We're gonna try mirror therapy," and I'm thinking like, "Girl, I don't want to try. What you mean? I can look in this mirror, look at the foot, and think?" And it was so crazy when I was thinking about it. And
Mhm.
we worked together for about 6 months, like 2 to 3 times a week. And over the course of that, I was on a lot of steroids. I had gained a lot more weight. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling some relief, but it's not where I need it to be because I'm still having issues every single day. And so then I had they closed me out for physical therapy, and I decided to say, you know what is it that I can do for my body that I'm not going to keep taking medicine for? What can I do to naturally heal my body? And so I had joined a CRPS group, actually a couple of them. I started researching CRPS. I started, looking up diets and things like that. And in the meantime of that, I had found out I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis.
Mm.
And so it was another jab because I'm like, I'm hurting so much. And then I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia also.
Wow.
So I decided that, the best thing to do is to lose weight. And I was like 287 pounds. And I was like, you know what? If the weight, maybe if I lose some weight, it can help and things like that. All while I'm still taking all these medications and things like that. And so I had lost weight. I had the gastric sleeve last year in July. And I went from like April of 2023 from like 287, 288 pounds. I'm like 160 pounds now. And during the process of losing the weight, I started eating better. I started adding like little, like taking supplements, vitamins and things like that. But I did start taking ginger faithfully
Mm.
and turmeric. and with like some cayenne pepper, just taking it to help with, everything I'm going through. And I can't say if I found relief through that itself, but I did feel better. And also while losing weight. And I started physical therapy again. And then
Hmm.
I started doing the doing what I was doing in physical therapy with the first therapist, the mirror therapy, the stick desensitization. I was touching, rubbing all the time, letting my kids touch me and everything, and try to take my mind out of it and just allow them to touch, just to desensitize everything. um I guess it worked because I still, if you touch, I'm not jumping. I'm able to be touched. The wind can blow and things like that. So just doing holistic things, changing my eating, exercising, moving it, rubbing it. Just doing lifestyle changes. It has given me my life back 100%. I will say that.
Wow. That's really inspiring that you didn't give up and just take it as, well, this is the way my life is going to be
No,
now.
no,
You,
no. I
you put
I
in the
was
work.
young. I want my life, and it was hard waking up every day in pain, going to bed in pain. All I thought about was pain, 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 pain. I told myself CRPS does not have me. I have it,
Yeah.
and I'm in the chokehold, and that's what I do every day. I pretty much do any and everything, and I haven't had any issues. Um, sometimes if I don't touch it enough, sometimes my mind will be like, "Oh God, what you
Mhm.
doing?" And I have to
Yeah.
get it back. Like, "Oh, let me keep
Same
rubbing
with
my
me. Yeah.
foot in
Yeah.
my floor so that it can get used to it again." So I rub it every day, twice, sometimes 3 times a day. If I'm sitting, I just rub my leg, just deeply rub it so it can just be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And um, yeah, that's what I do. When my CRPS was bad, I wasn't able to get pedicures. I could not let them touch me at all, at all. Now I'm able to get pedicures again. You know, it's just it. I'm just excited that I have my life back, and I'm so grateful for all my doctors, my care team that I have. But I'm really happy, and it is a disease that can affect the quality of your life if you allow it to. And
Hmm.
some people are more severe. Not saying that all of us are as severe. Some are. In my case, I couldn't even let you blow on my foot. I couldn't
Yeah.
even put a sock on, a shoe on. It was that terrible. Swollen, red all day, every day, just walking on it. Just the every step I took, it just felt like I just wanted to die. It was just like, oh my God, just why I cannot live my life like this. It was the worst time of my life, but the best time of my life because I pulled a strength out of me that I did not know I had.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's what I've heard from others and what I've experienced myself. Do you remember when it was that you were able to be almost completely pain free? When was it where it started really working?
I'm not 100% pain free. I am about 90, 95. We're gonna say there about
Yeah.
95 when I started losing weight,
Mhm.
which is so crazy. When I started losing weight, back in April, when I decided to completely change my eating. So back in April, the pain started to get better. And then as I started to lose weight, it got better and things like that. But it was just changing my diet and just going 100% and doing everything that I needed to do. So the pain, I don't need to take any pain medicine. Sometimes if I overdo myself and
Hmm.
if I'm not doing my normal routine, and sometimes if I go out of my normal routine, I'll be like, hey, it'll say, hey, what you doing? But it doesn't stop me, but it lets me know, hey, what are you doing?
Down or yeah.
Yeah, like slow down and let's try again. But I have noticed that when I do overdo things, I have to keep doing it for a few days so that my foot can say, okay, this is normal. So it can just, when I do it again, it's not like, oh my God, please stop. So but I don't take any narcotics or anything. I actually don't take any more medicine for it.
Wow.
Um, I don't take the duloxetine, the gabapentin, the Lyrica, the meloxicam. I don't take anything. I don't even take over-the-counter pain medicine. When I do feel, which is very near and far, in the last year, I think I maybe had maybe like one, maybe two episodes, and the pain wasn't even at a five.
Mm, that's great.
Yeah.
Would you be open to sharing the names of the doctors you work with? Because I know people struggling to find doctors they trust.
So So my primary doctor, she's at the University of Illinois, actually all of them. Her name is Dr. Owadi. That's my primary care doctor. She's wonderful. I'm a beautiful person. It's so hard, especially being a woman of color, to find doctors that actually want to help, because a lot of times we have to advocate for ourselves because it's so frowned upon us that we can't get the same quality of care. But she's phenomenal. She advocated for me. I mean, all the time. When I needed anything, a referral, I could message her and she'll message back within a few hours. Hey, you need this, 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 and that. Let's do this. My pain management doctor, his name was Dr. Malik up at the university. I saw doc. Oh, I saw a couple neurologists. I can't even think of their names. Oh my goodness. Um, mm, Doctor V. Her name started with a V up there. I can't think of it, but they were all phenomenal up there. But Dr. Owadi, my primary doctor, she definitely advocated for me. Dr. Deb Atney, she was the CRPS expert physical therapist. Wonderful lady. Wonderful. I mean, hands down, amazing. Um, yeah, but Dr. Atney, Dr. Owadi, Dr. Malik, they all came together, to create a plan and be in the loop and everything like that. And I have a rheumatologist. He's wonderful, but he's at Northwestern. His name Dr. Woodrick. He's phenomenal. So they all manage my care really good. Um, it's it when you have a good care team, it makes it work because everybody's working to help you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm internally grateful for them, for getting my life back, to being able to be 32 years old, and the first thing I don't think about when I wake up is pain. The first
Mm-hmm.
thing I wake up in the morning is thinking, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to be alive." Because for days, for years, I thought about how I want to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sleeping. I'm in pain when I go to bed. I'm in pain when I wake up. When I'm walking, I couldn't even. I wasn't actively involved in my kids' life because the things they wanted to do, all I thought about was, "Oh my God, I gotta walk. How far I gotta walk? I gotta do this." It was, I really hated that. That was the hardest part, looking at them, knowing that I can't participate in the things they want me to participate in.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
now we be everywhere, we do everything, and is I'm enjoying it.
that's good. I'm so glad to hear. So you mentioned you were taking supplements. Are you still taking supplements daily now?
Um, yeah, I take like regular vitamins, multivitamins. I take fish oil pills every day. And I take a shot of ginger every single day. Every
Wow.
A shot of ginger. Like I said, I don't know if that works for people, but it works for me. Um, and I try to eat right 85% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
85% of the time I try to eat right.
Do you remember? I haven't heard of taking ginger shots. Do you recall why you started doing it? Did someone?
I was online one day, right? And I was looking up like in these little forums all over Google and stuff. People like, "Oh, I tried ginger, try little things to help." And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot because I just to see what might happen and things like that. And it's something that I've done. I juice every day. I have a green juice every day. I know it sounds like a lot, but I make enough so I don't have to do it juice so often. But I have a green juice every day. Like I said, it's a ongoing battle, but I have more better days than bad days. And so when the bad day do happen, um, it don't take away from all the great days I had.
Mm-hmm. What does your current exercise routine look like now?
Well, I do a lot of weightlifting. Build muscle and things like that. I do a little cardio because I'm I've actually exceeded my goal weight. I actually got lower than my goal weight I wanted to be. So I'm just maintaining where I'm at now, and hopefully soon I'll be able to have my plastic surgeries that I want.
Mhm.
And so yeah, but
That's
I
good.
train um, a little cardio, but mainly weight training.
And what does cardio look like? Is that like treadmill or?
No, I hate the treadmill. I actually run. I go to like the little park,
Mm.
run on the track and stuff like that because I during all this time um I always said I wanted to be a nurse, right? I wanted to help people, and it's always been a life's passion for me to help people. I just like to help people and protect them. And I was in nursing school. I stopped, and then all my medical stuff had happened, and I just felt like, man, I'm just never gonna be able to do anything for me. I'm not gonna live the life that I want. And it was like when I decided, when I started losing weight and everything, I don't know, it's like I had a shift, and I decided that I'm gonna go back to school and I'm gonna finish everything. So I'll graduate next year with my degree in criminal justice,
Mm.
and I'm praying hopefully I can get into the police academy.
Mm.
So yeah, those are my current
Well,
plans that I have for the future.
congratulations. Well, that's so cool to hear that you can run. I hope one day I can run.
You know, it's because I broke my leg, right? It's not even the CRPS that really bothered. It's really because my ankle is like stiff. So I'm doing physical therapy for that, but I'm able to run. It doesn't impact me running. But like, if I want to do squats because the ankle joint is like so stiff,
Yeah.
I do it right on the right side, but I still push through it.
Hmm.
But running is a breeze now. I mean, I literally can do everything I want. I mean, I jump off of stuff with my kids, and I 100% have my life back. And I'm just really grateful for it because I'm telling you, it was just, oh my God, those moments were so dark, and I didn't see the light at all. I'm like, oh my God, all I see is darkness. When is this going to be
Hmm.
over? And and it's just like I don't want to live my life like this. Like I am so young, and I get to be so old, to feel so old.
Hmm.
But I am excited for my future. And I'm just, just really happy.
I'm so glad to hear that. So, besides the green juice and supplements, what does your normal uh, eating look like the rest of the day? What do you usually have for
Well,
breakfast, lunch?
normally I have protein, a lot of protein in every day. Um, I eat a lot of vegetables. I really don't really eat a lot of meat anymore. Um, so the meat that when I do consume meat is very lean. Like I don't eat any red meat or any pork. I do like maybe chicken or fish or turkey, but again, I don't really consume a lot of meat anymore. And what's crazy is when I decided to take meat out, my body started to feel better.
Like dark meat or any?
Any meat,
Wow.
any meat. Like I barely eat meat. I eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, juices, protein. I do these. Like I have cases of these, and this is my favorite flavor, so I can drink it and I feel satisfied and stuff. And yeah,
That's good. So, when was your last flare up?
my last, what, I had surgery in February, right? So with my CRPS, my toes started to curl. So the second toe, they did a surgery and they took a joint out, and it flared up maybe a tiny bit for like a couple days after surgery, and then it just went away. But the flare up wasn't bad. It was maybe like a 5 or 6. It was bearable pain. It was like, I know you're there, but I don't have to take anything. And the doctors, they gave me narcotics, but I actually never took them.
That's good.
You know what? I take that back. They gave me morphine pills, and I took one the first day, and oh my God, I thought I was about to die. And
Really?
and I was like, ooh. So I didn't take anything else after that, because I had like a pin in my toe for like 5 weeks. The only problem I had, and I think the only reason why it flared up was because my dogs kept running over my foot, turning the little pin in there. But other than that, it lasted a few days and it wasn't bad at all. And I was still able to go on and live my life, which I was super excited about because he was afraid that the CRPS was going to flare up again, which I thought too. And I had to tell myself, no, no, no.
Mm-hmm. Not
We're
gonna happen.
not going to think like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to think great intentions and we know we're going to be good. And even if it flare up a little bit, we will be okay. And
Mm-hmm.
it tried to, and I was like, not today, Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Today, and and it worked out for me really well, and I was excited for it. I mean, so when if I have a flare up now, it's the flare ups I have. It's not even my CRPS related anymore. It's really to deal with my autoimmune. And those flare ups aren't as bad since I lost a lot of weight because I didn't realize. I can't say maybe the weight impacted a lot of the ailments I had, but I can say with weight loss, it has improved the quality of my life 100%.
Yeah.
So the CRPS got better, you know, my autoimmune, the joints, all that it got better. So when I do have flare ups for either one, I'm still able to live my life. I'm not slowed down. I'm not stuck. I'm able to go on and just keep going.
Were you diagnosed with the other autoimmune diseases after CRPS or before?
Yep. After.
After. I'm not really familiar with them. Do you mind explaining a little bit more about what rheumatoid arthritis and
So
fibromyalgia is?
So, fibromyalgia is a constant widespread body pain. So when I was heavier, with someone touching me, it would just hurt my whole body. It would just hurt just all day, every day, from head to toe, fingers, toes, hurt nonstop. With rheumatoid arthritis, it's more like the joints in your body are inflamed. So my when I was heavier, my rheumatoid arthritis, it affected my elbows, my wrists, my hands, my knees, and my feet where my CRPS is in. And it only exacerbated that pain. So it was like I was living in hell.
Yeah.
But when I got on a good treatment plan for that, um, it helped. The only time I did not feel no pain at all, I mean 100% no pain, was when I was on prednisone for a few weeks. So that was the first time I experienced no pain. But every day I don't have pain. It's just I just deal with the stiffness in my ankle from the surgeries. But
Mhm.
it's nice to not to hurt so bad. But with fibromyalgia, sometimes I do hurt. Like when the weather changes, rain or cold, or it's too hot. Sometimes I'll hurt. But again, I don't know. Maybe because my pain tolerance is so high that it doesn't affect me that much. Sometimes I'll be like an 8 in pain, but I'm still able to function because I functioned at that for so long that it was like a normal. Like I wake up at a number 8 every day, and I'm fine. And then when you tell a normal person that they're like 8, oh my God, girl, you should be in pain. But it was I was used to it.
Mhm.
So, but it's just constant ongoing things. Like I said, it's just something that I live with. I don't let those things control my life and make me feel like I can't do what I need to do. So I just keep pushing. And when my body say rest, I rest. And
Mhm.
I think that's very important because a lot of times when we're not in pain, we try to do so much that we miss and to make up for the things that we weren't able to do while we were in pain, and that's the wrong thing to do. So
Mhm.
when I need to rest, I rest.
Yeah. How were you? Who diagnosed you with the other autoimmune conditions?
My rheumatoid arthritis. I said my room. Oh my God, my my rheumatologist because I had my practice doctor gave me a referral because she did a regular panel, and so a lot of the numbers were off. And because she's just a PCP, she's like, I'm going to give you a referral to rheumatology. And where I go to the university, I had got a referral in October of 2022, and they told me they didn't have an appointment until August of 2023.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I said, and I mean, I was on the phone crying. I was hurting so bad. I was hurting, and and so I had went to Northwestern to see a orthopedic surgeon for a second opinion. I had messaged them and I just asked for a referral. He gave me the referral, and that's how I found my rheumatologist. He's a very nice guy, and I went to him. He did, he looked at the labs I already had. Then he ran a full panel, and he had already had suspicion of things because, like, it could sound like lupus, things like that. So he ruled out a couple things, and he's like, "We're going to start you on a methylprednisone pack, and if it's what I think it is, you'll get some relief from that." And I had got some relief, and then he started me on regular prednisone. And I think like the first month, I think I gained like 20 pounds.
Mm.
But I was pain free though. It was like, I was like, what, so it was like I was battling. I mean, I'm looking at the scale, and then I'm looking like, oh man, I'm not in pain. I love this. It was amazing. And then he was like, we're going to get you on a really good treatment. So he started me on two medications. And it takes time for the medications to get in the system and things like that. So I was still on the prednisone until the medicine started working, and then a lot of my numbers went down. So once the numbers went down, I was able to come off the prednisone, but I had gained about 25 pounds, you know, and but it helped. So I'm on a good regimen. I'm actually going now in a couple weeks because I think we're going to transition more into infusions or injections because I don't really tolerate a lot of medication in my stomach. So I want to, I really don't want to be on any medicine, but I get relief with the medicine. And so we just want to try something different to help. But with
Yep.
fibromyalgia, there's no pill that you can take for that. Unfortunately, it's just something that's there and it could be held. But for the most part, like I said, with the weight loss, it has improved a lot.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Do you remember you mentioned that the numbers were off and that's when your PCP referred you to the first
So
rheumatologist?
she had inflammation, she did
Mm.
AAs, rheumatoid factors, so those numbers were high. And of course, she's not, it's not her profession. She's like, I'm not trained for this, so I'm just going to see you to the rheumatologist because they're going to do more invasive testing, which they did because, oh my God, I think they took like 10 vials of blood or something. It
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
much blood collected, and it took maybe about a week, almost a week for all the labs to come back. And my inflammation markers were three times the limit they were supposed to be. They were so high. And but the rheumatologist, he had already figured because I had a lot of swelling in all my joints. Um, it was a lot.
Mm.
So, but the first appointment, he definitely did not leave me stranded. He did give me stuff to help with the.
That's good. A couple final questions for you as we wrap up the conversation. What advice would you give to someone watching this who's either newly diagnosed or they're just lost and they feel like there's no hope for them?
For people that's newly diagnosed, I will say, what would I say to myself when I was newly diagnosed? I will say, I know it's hard right now. I know that this is something you've never encountered because we never have. But just literally take it day by day because it can get better. Um, Try to, find out what your triggers are because I had triggers for me. Um, and just try to do as much research as you can and advocate for yourself when you go to doctors because a lot of them are not trained to or knowledgeable enough to know about CRPS, and they'll try to misdiagnose you or not diagnose you. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, it's just in your mind." Advocate for yourself. Make sure you have good a good doctor, a primary doctor, because that's the person that is holding the basket for all your treatments. That person is going to control everybody else. Um, get Learn all you can about the disease. Um, just become knowledgeable yourself. So when you go to places, you already done your research. You're not going to know everything, but at least know what's going on. because when I was going to the doctors, I had already did my research. So I knew about the ketamine infusions, whether they were going to work or not. Sometime it worked, sometime it didn't. I did research on the spinal stimulators they wanted to put in my back, and I was like, no, I'm not going to let and then the blocks. It's just, and I even had injections in the foot. You just do your own research. You don't have to be a guinea pig to try out everything. Please don't, because you can actually cause more harm to yourself. Um, get physical therapy. I don't know where people live. They're all over. Find physical therapists that specialize in CRPS, that has had patients with it. They may have not had so much success, but at least people that are knowledgeable about it, that have been exposed to it, they're more inclined to be able to help you a little better. And you
Mm-hmm.
can educate them as well. Um, and for, I'm sorry, the second question, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're kind of answering both at the same time. The
Oh,
second one
okay.
was the person who feels like there's no hope for them.
Oh, yeah. And just, at the end of the day, just keep pushing. Because one day they will find, I'm praying they will find a cure for this. And just when you are in those dark moments, because a lot of times we have family and friends and they do not understand what we're going through, and they try to be there, but then they don't know how to be there. Just remind them that, hey, be nice. Be nice to them as well, because a lot of times, I know I did. I pushed my family away because it's like, you don't know what I'm going through. Just shut up. And I had to look that they don't know what I'm going through. Even though we may tell people, that don't mean they completely understand, because they're not living with it. But have a good support system. Ask for help. Don't overdo things, and just try to, think positive. I know it's so hard to think, oh, my life, this, and that, which is so easy to just succumb to. But just try to find that inner strength in yourself, because you will find it. It's in there. You just have to find it. You have to pull it out of yourself, because you have to say, this disease does not have me, I have it. And that's how I live every single day. Every day. When I encounter something, I'll be like, nope, not today. I got it already.
I love that. Are there any particular resources or groups you'd recommend people look into for help?
I am in a CRPS group. I have to go look through my phone. But I'm in a couple groups on Facebook. Let me see. I wonder if the camera will still be on if I look. Um, I am in I am in a group on Facebook. Um, the RSD/CRPS and neuropathic pain syndrome group. And I am in a positivity with rsdcrps.org group. And then CRPS is painfully funny complex regional pain syndrome group. But those are some of the groups I'm in. I don't interact in all of them. I only really interact in one of them. Or maybe you can make your own group and you can add me, and we can all
There
be
you
together.
go. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Thinking about there's a lot of helping groups, but there's also not a lot of negativity. So I was thinking of making a group of
I look at people in the group, and like I said earlier, a lot of people are a lot worse off than some of us. And uh, I don't really. All I can say is that everybody's situation is unique. At the end of the day, we all have the same disease, but it affects us all differently. And
Mhm,
I think that the most important part is that we can all be there for each other.
mhm.
And should nobody be negatively speaking like, hey, I'm worse off than you. Just say, hey, what helped you? How can you help me? What is it that you did? What can I do? Things like that. If we uplift each other more, we wouldn't have time to be negative towards each other or be mean.
Mhm.
Because what might work for someone could possibly work for me. Or maybe what worked for me could work for them. So we all are battling it, and we can just tell our experience, and hopefully it'll help somebody,
Yeah.
you know. But most importantly, advocate for yourself. You go to the doctor, do your own research, advocate, 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 um, and do your research, because
Yeah.
every day is something out there changing about it. It's new studies and things like that. Some medications work, some, you know, the spinal stimulator, it works for some people. I've heard some people had great relief from it. The lumbar punctures, the ketamine infusions. It's just you have to find out the best thing for you, what's going to work for you. For me, I tried a few things and I was like, I got some relief, but I'm not gonna, it's not something I want to continue to keep doing long term for me. So, what can I do to help myself?
Hmm. Yeah, I appreciate that, and thank you again for your time, and thank you for pointing out to be an advocate. I recently moved cities, and I didn't realize how rare it was to find a physical therapist with knowledge in CRPS. I got really lucky with my first one, and I called maybe 10 or 15 offices until I found someone that had experience and was familiar with it. So, advocating for yourself and not just accepting the fact that the first doctor or physical therapist you saw is not good, and then you give up. So, for those watching, I forgot to say this beginning. I'm not a medical professional, so definitely don't uh, you sue me or whatever. I'm not just I'm not a medical professional, and
Oh, no.
yeah, and remember that everyone's journey is unique with CRPS, like Thea mentioned. Not one treatment's going to work for everybody, and it's crucial to find what works for you and find a balance for um, what helps you the most and supports your well-being. So. Stay tuned for future podcasts and interviews with others who have found relief. Thea, thank you so much for sharing your story. And until next time, take care and keep fighting. And I hope we keep in touch and appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much, and good luck to everybody out there in the battle. We may lose the battle, but we will win the war against
Yes.
us.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thank you, Thea. Have a good evening.
you too.
Bye bye.